It's been a week, y'all. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Coffee Man Ran. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, I'm glad you came back. We miss you. We miss you. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel about coffee, coffee shops, and the general experience of life. We talk about any of the things from things that are occurring in social media to things that are occurring in my life to things that I witnessed in general public and was like, that's a good topic to talk about. So let's tear you no longer and just go ahead and get into today's topic. Today's topic goes into what I stated at the beginning of the video. It's been a long week. And the things that have occurred over the course of this long week and how it all came to a head after a storm. Yes, that might sound a little ironic, I know. But today's topic is weathering the storm. And the reason I'm wording it as weathering the storm is this. The last couple weeks, I've been dealing with some issues with my apartment. It has been extremely stressful. It has been extremely draining. It has wrecked my sleep schedule to no other. Between the issues in my apartment, trying to rework some finances so we can finally get debt free. Probably can't see this back here, but on my vision board at the top of 2024, in the very top corner, and the first thing that I was going to write on the board was going to be Randy wants to be debt free by 33. We got some time. We got a little under 3 years. We can do that. I've been grinding hard trying to get that out the way, and then every single time I get some money saved up and ready to go, something happens. I mean, the something that occurred is not a bad thing. It's just like, dang, I had things moving in the right direction and then I just get gut punched. But I think that's what life is supposed to be. Life is supposed to hand you the lemons and you are supposed to make the lemonade. You don't get to just go to the store and buy it. Whatever, that's not what we're here to talk about. Where we started. Issue 1 was the apartment. Issue 2 was some financial things that popped up and punched me in my face. Living comfortably, mind you, still living comfortably, just not moving in the direction at the pace that I originally was going to. And then part 3 came in the form of a boomerang that happened for my actual job in conjunction with a project that I was trying to work on. I love my job. For once, I can say that. Now, if I'd have started this channel a year or two ago, I think 75% of my topics would have been about me and my disdain for my boss or me and the disdain for the actual job itself. But the job I'm in now, I actually kind of like. But this one instance kind of threw a boomerang at me and it not made me feel some type of way, but it did make me take a step back and look at my job and be like, So the boomerang for the job was we were met with, we needed to go on a trip this past week. And that trip was like at a very inconveniencing time period for me and some stuff in my personal life. Nonetheless, it's something that needed to be done regardless. It was a time period that was like, ugh. But the work trip was at a very weird time. Had to fly out, had difficulties with the flight, mind you. So the flight ended up being delayed 3 hours, which put me in the state that I was supposed to go to. I was going to Colorado for a trip, and it put me there at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Editing Randy here. You are going to continuously hear me say in this little short segment 1 p.m. for the time period upon which I landed. That does not sound severe. Why? Because it's supposed to say 1 a.m. It was a 1 a.m. landing to that airport, which is 3 a.m. our time here in Charlotte. It killed the hell out of my sleep. Chaotic at its finest. Okay, back to the story. Note, I live Eastern Standard Time. So 1 p.m. Mountain Time is 3 a.m. over here. And my body felt it. Not just for the day that I was there, but the entirety of the trip. And when I got back, I've never actually experienced jet lag. And no, I was only gone for a day and a half. The jet lag whooped my ass. Today's topic, weathering the storm. The reason I even came up with this is the title for the topic is because I had an epiphany at the airport. The reason why it even occurred was because the delay was because of a storm. The storm that happened where I was leaving from going to. So leaving from Charlotte, there was a massive storm here that delayed everybody's flights, even canceled some flights to the point the airport was ridiculously packed. And it gave me a good chunk of time to sit down and think about life. And sometimes you take for granted the things that are occurring in life that are fine until everything starts to hit the fan. So when things are bad is when you really start to pay attention to the things that were good and they weren't as bad as you thought they were. A lot of the times we have to take a moment, hit the pause button, and just evaluate where you're sitting. Is it really bad, or is it just bad for what you thought you would be going through right now? Of course, it's not really that bad. It could be worse. And I think that's the mindset I've started to take on, is like, it could be worse. So leaving Wednesday to go on my trip, I was heavily frustrated, heavily annoyed. The flights kept getting delayed. I was still thinking about stuff with my apartment. I borderline had an anxiety attack because I was trying to make a rash decision about something that I had a week and a half to make a decision about. Like, if you could explore the inner workings of Randy's brain, the amount of stuff that I have anxiety attacks about, and I'm talking about like legit, like attacks about, ridiculous. It's a small situation, but the amount of weight that I've put on it has made it substantial. The whole of 2024 has given me at least one moment per month where it's just like, stop, evaluate what the hell you're doing, and then move forward. The airport was the evaluation point. And it was just like, I thought about it. I said, life has felt like a storm. I went through a storm to get to the airport, and now I'm sitting in the storm. At the end of the storm, I get to leave. And I think that's also the thing that you have to think about with life. The storm is going to happen. You can't stop it. You aren't Storm from the X-Men. You don't get to control weather. The storm is going to happen. It's what you decide to do before to prepare, if you can prepare, and during it while it's occurring to protect yourself. At the end, then you can figure out if any damage has been done, evaluate, recover, and move forward. So a lot of stuff has occurred. Physical damage to my place of residence, in addition to some emotional and mental damage about my thought processes of moving through life with my finances, my jobs, my projects, etc. On the other side is going to be a resolution. It might not be exactly what you want, but at least from that, you get to prepare yourself to move into the next chapter, whatever chapter that is for you. All I'm trying to say is, the storm is going to happen. Prepare as much as you can. And on the other side is a resolution. And from there, you can move forward. Life is gonna life, but don't let a few lightning strikes, some cloudy skies, and a bucket of rain kill you from living. Okay, let's not be too deep. We got coffee to go get. So, you ready? Let's go hit the coffee shop. Trying a dirty Thai from home base number 2, Gotcha Matcha. If you ever come to Charlotte, it's one of the best matcha shops here, period. But yeah, this is something new that's on his menu that we're giving a shot. And plus, I've always enjoyed Thai tea, but I never had it in dirty style. So for those of you who don't know, Thai tea is a very bold flavored tea, has hints of orange blossom, cinnamon, cardamom, and anise. So a very bold flavor tasting. And then you add espresso to it, it makes it a little bit bitter. So those of you who have watched the previous 2 videos, most of the time, you know, I appreciate a very bitter drink in terms of coffee flavors. So yeah, something bitter on my end, but dirty Thai is kind of sweeter if you have it by itself. So again, if you ever come to Charlotte, give Got to Matcha a go. It's well worth it. And yeah, that'll end this week's video. If you like the video, share it with somebody who enjoys coffee, especially if they're in the Charlotte area. I will be doing coffee outside of Charlotte eventually when we have a couple more trips during the summer. So yeah, stick around. We'll see more coffee. And until next time, peace and blessings.